Have you ever been tucked into your very own cozy bed, but it still felt a little too big and a little too lonely in the quiet, dark room? In a little house on a sleepy street, a little boy was about to discover that his bed was actually a launch pad for the greatest adventures. Leo was a brave explorer by day, but when nighttime came, his bravery would often pack its bags and go on vacation. He loved his parents' big, cozy bed. It felt like a safe, warm island in the middle of a big, dark ocean. His own bed, in his own room, felt like a tiny little boat, all alone on that same big ocean. Every night, it was the same. "Can I please sleep with you?" he would whisper at his parents' door. And because they loved him so much, they would always make room. But one weekend, his wise and magical grandma came to stay. She saw that Leo was a brave adventurer who just hadn't found the right map for his nighttime journeys yet. That evening, she presented him with a special gift. It was a soft, deep blue blanket, but it was covered in tiny woven stars that seemed to glow with a faint, silvery light of their own. "This is not just a blanket, my little adventurer," she whispered, her eyes twinkling. "This is a star blanket. It is woven from the light of the bravest stars in the whole galaxy, the ones that are not afraid to shine all by themselves in the big dark sky." Leo looked at the blanket in awe. It felt incredibly soft. "And your bed," she continued, "is not just a bed. It is your very own starship. It is the only ship in the whole universe that can sail on the Sea of Dreams. But it can only leave its harbor if the captain is on board." That night, when it was time for sleep, Leo felt the familiar wobbly feeling in his tummy. He wanted to run to his parents' room, but then he looked at his bed, his starship. He looked at his star blanket, woven with courage. He took a deep breath and made a brave choice. He climbed aboard his starship, and his mom and dad tucked the magical star blanket all around him. It felt like a warm, sparkling hug. "You are the captain of this ship, Leo," his dad said, giving him a kiss on the forehead. "You can fly anywhere you want tonight." When they closed the door, just almost, the room was quiet. But it didn't feel big and lonely. It felt full of possibilities. He wrapped himself in the star blanket and felt the courage of 1,000 tiny stars seeping into his heart. He closed his eyes. He wasn't a scared little boy in a lonely bed anymore. He was Captain Leo, at the helm of the Starship Dreamer, sailing through a magnificent, sparkling galaxy. He flew past marshmallow clouds and chocolate chip asteroids. He waved to the friendly, smiling face of the man in the moon. He had learned that his own bed wasn't a scary, lonely island. It was his own personal launch pad to a universe of amazing adventures, and all he needed to fly was a little bit of courage and a blanket woven from the light of the stars. And while the little captain learned to bravely sail the Sea of Dreams, a little girl in a magical garden was learning a very different lesson about what happens when you use your words to build a friendship back up. Subscribe to Storiella so you don't miss her amazing adventure.